Hi! Okay, so today we're doing our daily reading and we're doing collective ancestral healing energy. So we've began doing this reading, going down this path yesterday, and yesterday it was intense in the beginning, and then it ended up being fine. But now we're going to do the next message from the ancestors. So when it comes to ancestral healing, and I don't know, it's for collective, it could be for specific people, but ancestral healing, what is the message for today? What are we talking about today? Ancestral healing. What's going on with our ancestors? What's going on with our lines? What do we need to do? Ooh. Okay. Watch your words, mate. Yeah, you better watch your tongue, mate. Sorry. Yeah. Alright, so it's definitely a little feminine energy here. But we've got Hel, Hecate, and Kuan Yin. We love Kuan Yin. We love all of them. Especially Hel, too, and Hecate. Okay. And then we have the Joy, the Mermaid of Lemuria. So I knew that this was going to be feminine energy because we had Isis come out. Isis isn't her name. What's her name? Aset? I think. We had Aset come out with Hecate. So Hecate is here again. We've got the triple moon goddess. So what I actually want to talk about first is see how the moon is affecting you. I'm going to make a short about this, but do you guys feel different today than you did yesterday? Like a big shift, because it's a crescent moon now, and yesterday was the first quarter moon, I think, and it's a huge shift. So just recognize that you're a human being, and you are heavily affected by the elements around you, including the elements in outer space, because you're also an alien. So we're affected by the moon, and there's a shift that happened, and it brought an end, and it was like literally overnight. You go from, this period of mourning, this energy of death, to this energy of understanding, to this energy of healing and nurturing and feeling taken care of. And it's like, it's like the triple goddess. It's like understanding each phase, but allowing yourself to go through the phases and not get stuck in one place. Allowing for yourself to move, allowing yourself to flow, allowing yourself to go through cycles, because it's literally the end of a cycle. Past life healing, kindness, and nurturing. How do you allow yourself to end cycles? How do you allow yourself to move throughout cycles? Do you linger in one position for too long? And where does it feel comfortable to linger? Because comfort doesn't always have to do with safety or what's best for us. Comfort is simply what we're used to. It's what we understand. It's what we know. Some people are really comfortable lingering in death energy. Some people are really comfortable in chaos. And that's not always a sign that that's just where we are good. That's where we thrive. It's just what we know. And there's this energy of being able to constantly move beyond what you know into a state of flow with the unknown, into a state of flow with the unconscious, with the subconscious. You may understand that above ground you are a human being. Above ground you are a woman, you are a man, you are non-binary, you are a person. You're a creature on earth. Below ground, you're an alien. You're a part of the universe. You're a soul. You're a spirit. When are you going to allow yourself to be able to bring into balance your knowing and your unknowing and flow comfortably through the seasons and the cycles of that process of being within the subconscious, the unconscious, and the conscious, and move through those realms without feeling the need to drag your feet or feeling the need to control when you get stuck? And where you sit within that process, allowing yourself to simply go through it every single time. This feels like, especially because Isis came out with the sacred contracts, this actually feels like a confrontation of our relationship with the spiritual realm, with incarnation, with the universe, with life, and confronting our relationship with how we incarnate every single time, right? Because what am I trying to say? Maybe like it's confronting our relationship with like with the contracts and the soul cycles and all of that, and confronting how we end up dealing with those, how we end up merging, how the movement exists, how we end up flowing, because there seems to be like blocks in how easily we're able to shift, how easily we're able to pass through. And part of it is just a matter of time. The older you get, the wiser you get. The more lives you live, the more incarnations that you have, the more you're able to understand this system. And still you get stuck because you come down to earth every single time, and there's nobody who's perfect the whole way through, who's always in alignment, who always gets it. Earth it's a tricky place, and it's life. It's supposed to be a challenge. So it's not supposed to be easy the entire time. But there is this energy of wanting to bring into balance the flow, the movement of how easy it is to pass through every stage, because it feels like there's part of us that is getting like tripped up and stuck between the end of a cycle and past life healing. Like we're getting stuck between between the conscious, I think, and the unconscious. Because I think the unconscious is representing the past life healing. I feel like the subconscious is actually representing Kuan Yin, and the conscious is representing hell, the end of a cycle. Because life is constantly merging with death, and that's consciousness, constantly being aware of your own endings, constantly being aware of your own demise, your own death, your survival, all of that. And the unconscious is being aware of your past lives, being aware of your past, being aware of the fact that things exist in phases, being aware that you are always coming back again. And then the subconscious is it's a settling into, it's a comfort, it's a taking care of, it's a nurturing, it's the darkness, which is actually the light. But there feels like, in terms of ancestral healing, there seems to be this advocacy for the transition into the unconscious, because there's like a stuckness. There's this feeling of being stuck, and it's so hard for the subconscious to come in and bring us light when it's in such stark contrast to the conscious and the unconscious. It's just totally different. It's because of the framing and the mental framing that we get around what the subconscious looks like, how that exists. It's like we have these codes in our brain. It's like if you look at sacred geometry and like they're like math codes, right? Or if like it's like we've been taught a very specific way that the unconscious exists, and so we've been taught how to recognize it, but what we've been shown it to be is not reflective of what it actually is. And so when we're trying to move through these cycles, when we come across or come close to the subconscious, which heavily shows up in the unconscious, there's a block in understanding. And because it's hard to turn your brain off and just move with your gut, when you're moving from the conscious to the unconscious, it's like you come into this state and then you back away and you stay in this stagnant space between death and a return to like the womb of darkness, right? Because it's not like you die and then you're reborn again. You die and then you go through this period and then you're reborn again. But there is like a resting state after death. And that's where you're supposed to journey back into the subconscious. But I feel like what's happening right now is, you die like as a soul. So let's say, I'm here and then the next day I'm gone, dead. And I'm dead, right? What's happening? I'm not dead. But, okay, let's say this happened in my last life, my past life. So before I became who I am right now. When did I cut myself? When did that happen? I don't know. So let's say I died, right? In my past life. Obviously I did, so that I'm here. Before, I feel like what's happening is we're dying and then we're being reborn. And there's not a big resting state. There's not enough of a resting period for the subconscious to come in and bring healing. So that's why whenever we end a life, we're coming back with this huge amount of baggage from our past lives, because the subconscious isn't able to come in and lift the weight a little bit. This is why in Lemuria shit was so easy, free. Shit wasn't easy, but it was a lot more free flowing because we were more connected to the divine feminine, because we weren't afraid of darkness. We were able to have lives that were able to exist with more transparency and more spiritual awareness and connection to all of the different realms and flow in balance, recognizing our spiritual self, recognizing our physical self, recognizing that they're the same, recognizing our complexity, understanding the codes that are in our head and not misinterpreting them, understanding the words that we're speaking, understanding the language that we're speaking. You could speak English, but you could not have an understanding of what it actually means that you're saying, right? You could be speaking the light language. You could be speaking the words of the universe and not know shit about what you're talking about. Anyone can learn sound healing. Anyone can learn how to read tarot, but you could actually not know what you're talking about. You could just be faking it, because it's a matter, like, learning it is just a matter of learning it. We all go to school, we all learn different things. Do you understand what you're learning? It's completely different. So in Lemuria, when you were there, when you died, there was a lot of resting period. So first of all, it wasn't like life and death, life, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth. It was life, death, rebirth. You know, there was a pause. There was a break. The death isn't the pause. The death is an act. Death is action too, but it's the space after that. That's the break. That's the resting period. I don't even know if we have a name for that anymore. I bet there was a name for it in Lemuria. I don't know what the name would be now, but for now I'll just connect it to the subconscious. But we don't have access to that right now. So I feel like that's what the ancestors are coming through right now to help us talk about, because of that, because of the lack of access to the subconscious, and I'm not sure why that is, so we'll ask questions later, but because of that, that's why so many of us, that's why the big journey right now on earth is ancestral healing, because we're all carrying so much baggage from past lives, because our ancestors aren't getting a chance to heal in the spiritual realms. They are just being reborn again and again and again and again and again. And there's no resting period. There's no connection with the Divine Mother. There's no connection with the subconscious to be able to give that weight over. It's not actually supposed to be all on the incarnating being to heal all the trauma, to heal all the karma. That's not what karma is about. That's why karma's gotten such a bad rep, because unfortunately karma has been doing the weight of balancing out the universe, when really that's not all on karma's shoulders. It's not supposed to be all on karma's shoulders, but there's something missing. What is it that's been taken that's making it so that it's like somebody's fucking with the light language, or somebody's fucking with like the codes, the geometric codes, the sacred geometry, the language of the universe, and fucking up the interpretation of what's supposed to go down, how it's supposed to work. Someone's messing with the system, someone's messed with the manual, the guide, and it's separated the subconscious so much so that we don't understand it, that we don't recognize it, that we don't know what it looks like, so that when we die, our souls don't know where to fucking go. We don't know what to look for. There's like an ignorance. There's been information that's literally been removed. There's information that we don't have, and it's light, but it shows up as darkness. But there's like a discrepancy in being able to understand that. And it's because of the way that we don't understand the feminine, because the feminine has been so simplified and the feminine is so fucking complex. It's the same way we're running away from aging, and it's like, what the hell? Aging is beautiful. Anyways, that's random. But what is this? Like, what is it? What happened? This is interesting to me. I'm into this. I love this kind of stuff. Oh my god, Watch Your Words is here again. Fuck. So this does have something to do with the language. Or maybe they're telling me to watch my words. Maybe I should stop swearing so much. Okay, I'm going to keep out Lemuria, because clearly you're important here. Lemuria. It's like we keep getting the same things. Like, we're seeing the same cycles. Oh my god, visionary. That's so funny. Hey, there's a set. Surrender. Somebody fucked with the language. Someone messed with the language. Someone messed with the codes. I'm I'm not sure of it, but like that's what I feel. I feel like there's like they've like, there's something that's been put into the words, or just into our ability to understand, or the way we understand. Something's been messed up so that we can't understand the cycles of things, that we don't understand the patterns. Or maybe it's just even the idea, it's like the connotations that have been attached to things. Tell the truth, yeah. It's about the connotations that have been attached to things. Like with cycle, there's like a bad connotation attached to that. You think about your period, it's always like an I'm getting my cycle. You think about a cycle in life and you're like, oh my God, I'm trapped in a cycle. There's a feeling of suffocatedness, of wrongness, of badness attached to cycles. Same as attached to darkness. I started the spiritual journey, and the first thing I was talking about was making sure that we changed our relationship with darkness and the connotations around darkness, because it's not good. Well, the connotations that we have. We're seeing this revolution with the feminine right now, but it's so public and it's so messy that it's hard, because there's not a lot of grace being given to the feminine as she continues to expand and explore herself in the human realm, with women and our journeys and our freedom and our movements. But women are going through a journey just the same way Black people are going through a journey, same way queer people are going through a journey, same way Indigenous, white people are going through a journey. But yeah, it's like divine messages are being messed with. There's like spells that have been cast, and there's a mess up in the frequency. It's the same way, there's bad connotations with low vibrations. What's wrong with low vibrations? There's nothing wrong with low vibrations, but there's been a connotation attached to it that makes it bad, so that we can't understand it. Same with like density, with thickness, that's bad now. With darkness, that's bad now. With heaviness, that's bad now. But all of these things are subconscious energy. All of these things are attached to the feminine. You're not lightweight when you're pregnant. You're fucking heavy. There's a lot of weight on you. You're not lightweight when you're an old soul. You got a lot of shit. You have a lot of shit. Just as much light, you have just as much darkness, if not more. I don't know, but like the balance is out of whack. The balance is totally out of whack. It's just like the same way, like, it's confusing. Like, we've been confused. We've been confuzzled. And so if you're confused, I'm confused. We're all confused. And it's because there's something going on with our spaces. Like, there needs to be protection over our spaces. Like, we need to protect our energy right now. This is a matter of protecting your energy, protecting your home, protecting your spiritual bodies, protecting your sacred spaces. Because there's things coming in, and there's a power in your words. There's like something specific around that, around being trapped by the words that we say. And it's because, it's spelling. No matter what, even though we're like, oh, I don't mean it, your words are powerful. It's like intention doesn't even matter. Like, intention matters, but in order for intention to matter, you have to be really grounded in yourself. Because right now, the weight of our words and the weight of the physical is super strong. It's super, super strong. And words are physical energy compared to intention, which is more, non-physical. I don't know. I don't have the word for it. Like, I've been struggling. I used to be like a word master. I used to be really good with words when I was younger. Probably because I was just like in school. But I used to be really good with words, and I like won a Wordly Wise competition. I was good with words, and I am a writer, so I used to be really good with words. I'm very curious, but recently I felt like stunted in my ability to speak. Yeah, this feels like a lot of throat chakra stuff too, and just how many words I know, how I'm able to express myself, and there's something around that. Like, we need to expand our consciousness so that we can reach the subconscious. Because consciousness doesn't go on forever. It's not endless. It's subconscious is endless. Consciousness has a limit because it's life, right? And then there's death, past life healing, and then there's the subconscious, that state in between. And then rebirth is just the whole thing. It's just like the rebirth you could consider the same as like a cycle. But we need to expand our consciousness and get more words and get more language to express ourselves, get more of these codes so that we can begin to look at them and decipher them. Because it's just a matter, right now I feel like we're in a period of gathering. What we need to do is collect as much information, sacred information, spiritual downloads as you can. You don't need to understand them. It doesn't really fucking matter. But you need to collect. Write down your dreams. Write down whatever things randomly pop into your head. Write down your ideas. Just keep them. Because the more that you expand, and which is just collecting this information, taking these messages, taking them seriously, the more that you move into an energy of expansion. And your expansion will reach a limit point. And once you reach that limit point, you'll enter into the unconscious. And as you enter into the unconscious, the subconscious is right there. The unconscious and the subconscious aren't far behind each other. Subconscious isn't far behind the unconscious. So we need to get into the unconscious, though. Like, that's important. And part of that is putting your pride to the side and listening to other people, listening to teachers. Because the only reason I know about this conscious, unconscious, subconscious thing is because I found this woman, Professor Melanie, popped up onto my page, the Spirit Doula. She's on YouTube. And I watched one of her readings, and that was the first, it wasn't a reading, one of her teachings. And that was the first video that I watched. And it was one of those things where Spirit was like, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, but listen to what she's saying. And I was listening to what she's saying, and that really stuck with me. And it's been important for me ever since. So listen to other people, because we all have things to offer each other. But there's also this energy of collecting information. That's why we need to gather, because we're a collective. We have thoughts to share, and we need to listen. What is this about? Wise decision. Tell the truth. Hold. It's interesting, too, that I'm not pulling anything from the tarot. I'm just pulling oracle. Tarot and oracle are super different energies. They're super different energies. Life force energy. Yeah, it's an intuitive awakening, because oracle cards, it's not really about telling a story where you can tell a story within the tarot. It's more so about individual messages. But once you collect them and you bring them all together and you build, pulled from the source as well, using your intuition as well, you begin to create a really deep, oh my God, a really, really deep message. Hold on. I need to make sure none of those cards fly away. Holy cannoli. Wow, that was crazy and scary. I thought I was going to lose my cards. Whoa, okay. So, yeah, this is healing energy. You guys, we're stepping into our power. Not to be annoying, but we're about to be on another level. So I was saying in the other video, like, there is nothing to be afraid about. I mean, you can be afraid if you want to. There's nothing wrong with fear. But there's nothing to be afraid of, y'all. Unless you're an asshole and you know that about yourself, and then you're about to be facing some shit. But if you're an asshole and, like, you take accountability and you're trying to heal, like, there's nothing to be afraid of, because we're stepping into our power. We really, really are. But we need to not be ashamed to need each other and to need the other elements, because we're getting visions. It's time to come out. It's time to come out of hiding. I'm coming out. It's time to make a stand and show the world that rest. Okay, I need to go because I'm tired. But I think I've said what I need to say. We'll continue on with whatever messages the ancestors have for us tomorrow. But this is exciting. Oh shit, there's a missing card. Holy crap, I didn't even see. Athena was right here the whole time. I'm like, are there any more? Okay, well, last card, Athena. Wise decision. Something's about to happen. A decision's about to be made. This could be a decision for me to end the video because I'm tired. But this could also be a decision around... Ooh, let me pull one more card. Let me pull one more card. Use all that you have, okay? I'm pulling from the goddesses, the gods, and the guardians deck. This is not just focusing on one energy. This is many, many energies, all different cultures. Use all that you have. But what is this decision about? What's this decision? What's this decision about? What's this wise energy? Athena. It's like we're like, get ready. Like we're already in war. We're already in battle, y'all. But like for real, it's time to recognize. Ooh, not hell out here again. End of a cycle. Oh shit. And Ra. Okay. So how I'm gonna end this is just reading these three gods. Not three of them. That's a lot. Okay. I'll read Ra. Share your gift. The perfect time is now. Say yes and show up. Ra was the god of heaven, the sun, and the origin of life in Egyptian mythology. Described as a creator of everything, he was so powerful and popular, and his worship was so enduring that some scholars say that Egyptian religion had only one god, Ra. One of my favorite readers, Rosology, she says that. She says it's not like all of these other gods are incarnations of Ra, the god. And you can see that as us, right? Like humans. We're all incarnations of spirit. So we're all like gods, but we're incarnations of what we call the God. Some in Christianity you might just call it God, but for me I call him spirit or the divine. That's what Baha'di Life says. I mean, I don't know her belief system, but that's what she says. Okay, anyways, only one God, Ra. The Egyptians built solar temples in his honor, and throughout the dynastic periods he took many other blended forms such as Ra Horakhti and Amun-Ra. Ra was a high priest in Atlantis and watches over those who are now rediscovering their ancient Atlantean gifts. Ooh, we were talking about Lemuria. I'm of the belief that Lemuria and Atlantis were like around the same time, and their anxieties that coexisted. Societies that coexisted. What are you waiting for? What do you keep putting off until tomorrow? Ooh. You're locked in a frustrating cycle of inaction, and it's holding you back from contributing, creating, and sharing. Remember what we were talking about in the beginning of this video? Ra leads you into his temple and declares, the world needs what you have to give. There is no such thing as perfect time to share your creations and energy. Have you used every excuse under the sun for why you can't do what you need to do? This procrastination is a smokescreen for your fears. Ooh. Yes, it can feel scary to reveal your ideas and talents, but this is what we need from you. Sharing your deepest gift will open the heart of humanity. Don't wait anymore, or you'll be waiting your whole life. Take guided action now, not later. Give generously of your radiant sun's light. It will be returned to you multiplied, and you'll feel more alive than ever before. There are times when patience and more preparation are needed, but not now. This is a gift of the collective sacred altar. Ooh, we were talking about the collective. You'll never feel completely ready to give your deepest soul's gift. So start now. Additional meanings, launch a new business or project. Stop taking innumerable courses, trainings, or workshops. Put your learning to use. Help others through volunteering, charity work, or community initiatives. Use your Atlantean spiritual gifts of crystal healing and psychic arts. Invocation, I will stop waiting and I offer my light. Period. I'm like, are we gonna read hell? Are we gonna read hell, or are we gonna let it be? Let it be, 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 let it be. Be open to what's coming next. The next chapter of your life is arriving. Yeah, your throat chakra needs support to clear and heal. Your throat chakra needs support. It's safe to express your real voice. The divine feminine energy is stronger than your fear. Yes. And then let me just read some things from Athena. That's just how I'm going to do this. A fruitful path in education, study, research, or teaching is opening up. Ooh, a legal matter is divinely supported. Learn a new craft or trade. I will help you make an informed decision, and once you do that, the way ahead will become miraculously clear, and you'll feel calmer and more energized and fully empowered. And Athena, a wartime protectress of Greece, she offered counsel and strategy rather than engaging in battle. Period. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Bye. See ya.